You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
Per agent Drew Rosenhaus, Elandon Roberts is re-signing to the Miami Dolphins for 1 year, $3.25 million. It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm Charlie Touche. Got my co-host Kadeem Simmons with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Again, Tom Pelissero reports that Elandon Roberts is coming back to the Miami Dolphins, $3.25 million, 1 year. What you got, Kadeem?
Similar to the Duke Riley deal, it's a matter of Miami the way I see it, Miami making sure that they are going into the draft with all their, gaps filled basically. Elandon Roberts isn't someone who, like I've said a number of times on the show, isn't a wow signing, isn't a oh my days, Dolphins are winning the Super Bowl, but he's someone who plays that role great. Like some of his one stops since he's been in Miami have been amazing, been absolutely brilliant. And I just think that this allows them to. I still think they need an inside linebacker, but it means that it's not a necessity. They can go. I now think outside of a tackle, they can generally go best player available at 29 because, like I said before, if the season starts tomorrow, they're fine at linebacker, they're fine at defensive end, they're fine at corner, they're fine at safety. Elandon Roberts isn't going to be on the field 24/7, but in certain situations he will be there and he will hopefully continue to do the job he's been doing so far.
It's funny that you said make sure the gaps are filled because that's exactly what Elandon Roberts does. He fills gaps. Run stopping linebacker. And again, it's 1 year. And it's like, okay, the Dolphins have a plan. We don't know necessarily what the Dolphins' plans are. We know that we have our own plans for the Dolphins. I would like them to go solidify the O-line before we hit the draft, or put a piece on the O-line and put a piece in the receiving core, or solidify the receiving core and then go O-line in the draft. But they have a plan. Some way, shape, or form. You got to believe it. I understand that it was a lackluster free agency in 2021, and it's a whole new year. Greer said he's going to be aggressive, and everybody's like, hey, where's this aggressiveness at? When are we going to see it? I remember last year, it's just the taste that was left in your mouth from last year's free agency that we came out with Will Fuller. And I was like, is that it? This is what we're doing with free agency? Can you remember our free agents from last year, Kadeem? Brissett, Fuller, maybe Stephen Carter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Stephen Carter.
It was
no running backs. You mentioned Will
right.
Fuller.
No, Malcolm Brown.
Yeah. Oh, see,
right.
Again,
that's what I'm saying.
They're very lackluster. And again, no offense to them, it didn't pan out.
So yeah, does it mean the Dolphins are gonna go get Bobby Wagner and then address stuff in the draft, or Miles Jack and then address stuff in the draft? We have an update coming up. We have a free agency update coming up today where we will recap so far what is going on and where we think we're going with free agency and let everybody know where we stand. But Elandon Roberts is another one of those guys. You got to have 53 people on the roster. And when you want to, hey, I want this guy, I want that guy, I want this guy, I want that guy. Who's going to be playing behind those guys that you want, right? Where's the depth going to come from? It would be nice to go sign 12 undrafted free agents that end up panning out for your team. right? And then you just pay all the big cash for everybody, that all your starters, and then you just go, hey, we need 20 undrafted free agents to come in for the Miami Dolphins to fill the positions we didn't get in free agency because we don't have no cap space. So we're going to get 20 undrafted free agents and put them on the minimum. It doesn't work like that. You need stability, you need depth, and you need solid pieces all the way around. And this is where we at with Elandon Roberts.
Yeah, I also think it's a the one thing we heard when Brian Flores was fired was that there was discontent in the locker room. Guys aren't going to want to stay, all that kind of stuff. Duke Riley's returned. Elandon Roberts has returned. Mike Gesicki's returned on the tag. Emmanuel Ogber's returned. It seems like things kind of were okay. That, these guys want to come back to Miami. These guys believe in not just the future. It's great when Steve Moss has panned, but also Mike Daniel. They've already brought in, because if not, they would have been elsewhere. I want you to believe that Miami were the only team trying to get these players. So it's a matter of, we say this quite a lot. You reward the players that have been in the building who have done well. They've rewarded them, and not on major deals. These are the kind of deals which, and that's very possible. If the Dolphins sign, a linebacker in the draft and he looks good in training camp, you might cut an Elandon Roberts, you might cut a Duke Riley. You're not going to have that much dead cap. But it's just, again, you need to get the players in the building in order to move forward. And to go back to another point I've made, and you made it as well, cutting these players, or I guess not even bringing these players back, you have to replace them with someone. To find a linebacker who, isn't the best in coverage, but can, stop the run quite well. Even to find someone who can do one of two things, how much is that going to cost you? Is it not worth paying Elandon Roberts 1 year, $1 million, then going out and bringing someone else in who's going to cost you 4, 5, 6 million, and then you can't go and get yourself, a potential left tackle or right tackle? So, yeah, to me, and again, this whole grading thing, it's a C plus, C plus grade. No one's going to run out and get Elandon Roberts jerseys, but when it's 3rd and 1 on the goal line, or 3rd and 1, and they get this doing field goal range, and there's a run stop, and defense off the field, special teams, punt, Dolphins get the ball again. Thank you very much to Elandon Roberts. So I'm okay with it.
Y'all stay tuned. Up to date. I want to say up to the minute, but we got you covered with all the free agent news as it comes out. When you hear something come out, check us out at Go Time Dolphins. We're going to cover it for you. Y'all stay positive, test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.